You found Two in the Closet. We're two friends over 50 spill the tea, share the laughs, and talk about all the weird and wonderful and WTF moments of life. I'm Jen.
And I'm Beth, recording from a very real closet because it's the only place we sound this good. And because life's just better with great acoustics and a little secrecy. So shut the door, pour the wine, let's talk.
I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Beth, and this is Two in the Closet. And today we are talking about a subject that I handpicked unfinished business and the myth of closure. I think we've all had a relationship end or someone leave our lives dramatically or otherwise, and we keep replaying it in our head. And we want to
Over and over and over again.
answers, we need communication, all that. So we're going to talk about all of that. But first, I want to start out by saying thank you again
Yes,
for
thank
coming
you.
back for season 2. We're going to say it all season long because we are super, super grateful. We know you have endless choices for podcasts to listen to. So if you have landed on ours, we want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. And if you like what you hear, please like, share, comment, do all the things, and show us a little love. Okay,
Exactly.
let's get into it. What is closure really? Because we throw this word around a lot, and I say it. I have said it in my past relationships. I just need closure.
I need to know why.
Yeah, but what are we really asking for? Is it emotional resolution, a final conversation, validation, revenge?
Myth, closure comes from someone else. The truth, most closure is an inside job. It's within.
Yes, yes. So why do we crave it so deeply? So there's a neurological reason for this. Our brains are story finishers. And there was this doctor in 1920. Her name was Bluma Zeigarnik. Wow, that was a hard one.
Sounds about right.
Huh?
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. I sounded it out.
Yeah, exactly.
But she noticed that the wait staff at her local cafe would remember incomplete orders more than the completed orders. So the ones that were still in process, she remembered. The ones that were done and served, forgotten. Once a task or order is complete, it's forgotten faster, and that's called a closed loop. But our nervous system interprets unfinished business as a threat. We want certainty, control, and something to put away on the shelf, all nice and neat, right?
Save it for later.
Yeah.
The nervous system and closure. Well, unresolved endings keep us in sympathetic nervous system mode. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Let's take a look at each of these, then work on healing them.
Yeah. Fight. Now, first of all, I want to say fight or flight were the first two I ever learned about. People would talk about fight or flight.
That's the only two that I've known until.
And then freeze came along. And then as I was researching this episode, fawn came up.
Never.
So
never knew about that.
We're going to do it together. So the fight response is if you've ever felt powerless or unsafe as a child or a young adult, your nervous system might have learned to push back to survive, right? So fighting. I'll gain safety through power, control, confrontation. You can argue, yell, blame, be defensive, be a perfectionist. That's controlling everything again, or be full of rage or injustice, right? And it can also be, and I know I'm guilty of this, sarcasm, cunning humor, control over the body. Lord knows I have none. So I know that's not one.
Well, that's not positive.
Yeah. Eating and workouts, passive aggressiveness, or hypercriticism. So if you feel yourself moving into some of those, you might be in the fight mode. And then there's flight.
Flight. And this is the one I know about. The nervous system perceives a threat, escape. Get out of here. Move, fix, flee, or distract yourself from the danger.
Distract yourself. Oof, I
Yeah.
do that.
I think we all do. This could look like leaving a stressful relationship, constant busyness or overworking, perfectionism, anxiety, overachieving, difficulty relaxing or sitting still. I know I have that problem. I think we all do.
And then there's the freeze mode. Well, if I can't escape and I can't win, maybe I'll just disappear. Feeling stuck and numb, zoning out, going blank in confrontation. That was my that was me being blank.
Oh, yeah. And then I was blinked back. Did you see that? How
um,
good that worked?
Analysis paralysis. I witnessed this firsthand with our dear Jen when we were on our girls' trip in Big Bear.
Yes.
The answer seemed very clear to three of us, but she was analyzing it over and over again.
Looping.
Yeah, looping, yes. Apathy, lack of motivation, and procrastination, right? So the parasympathetic nervous system slams the brakes, the heart rate slows down, the muscles tend to feel heavy and limp, and it's your body's way of playing dead to protect you. And then the new one.
Fawn. Never heard of this. So, fawn, it's your nervous system goes into appeasement to avoid conflict. It is the lesser known trauma response and especially common in people who have experienced rational or complex trauma. So, like childhood neglect, abuse. So, over apologizing or taking blame, even if it's not your fault, we've all done that. Avoiding conflict at all costs, hyper aware of others' moods and needs. This is saying yes when you want to say no. Hello. Feeling responsible for other people's emotions. Hello. Prioritize.
Where's that bell?
I
We need the
know.
bell
We're,
again.
we're going to get a
Ding,
bell.
ding.
Exactly. Prioritizing others, comfort over your own. These are all so familiar.
Yeah. Don't they feel familiar?
All of them
Like a
because
well-worn pair of shoes.
I am all understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
So healing, fight, flight, freeze, and fawn with true or self-directed closure can literally help us move into the parasympathetic state of rest, digest, and repair. It can feel like finally exhaling.
Mm.
So let's talk about the body chemistry of being in these places and needing closure. So the lack of closure generates a stress response, which creates cortisol and adrenaline and causes inflammation. Do you know what causes inflammation or what inflammation causes?
Disease.
Disease. Yes. So, like, I think 90% of the common diseases that we get can be traced back to inflammation. So, your lack of closure isn't just, I need an answer from that person, but it literally is having a physical effect.
Right.
So, when you find your own meaning or forgiveness or your own closure without the other person, it creates serotonin and oxytocin in your body and it lowers your blood pressure. So, you literally shift your chemistry by choosing healing over looping. So, there's the science.
So I think in Big Bear at that moment, I'm trying to think what my body language was.
Well, you were huddled in a chair with your phone. You were like
So
had
would
your
that
legs
be
up. You were in freeze.
freeze?
You were
Okay.
playing dead.
Yeah.
You were
Okay.
just
So I was
playing
in
dead.
freeze mode in that space and it was just so uncomfortable. It went away, but it was
But
uncomfortable.
it was interesting to to be a participant and at the same time being an observer because here's what happened. She had auditioned for a role and found out while we're on a girls trip that she got the role and she got booked. And they sent her the script and it sounded really fascinating from what little bit I heard of it. But it sounded very interesting, but it had all these multiple characters in somebody's head. And she was supposed to memorize all the parts and be ready to shoot in less than 36 hours from when she was given the role. And so, and there was no pay. Oh, I'm sorry, biggest part, no pay.
Right.
And then she would have to fake call in sick to her regular job, which could put that job in jeopardy. Like
It wasn't in alignment.
it was such a no from the jump for all of us. But Jen took literally hours to arrive at that conclusion.
Yeah.
I applaud you for doing it because if you had actually taken that role, I would have really questioned your sanity.
Don't you do that anyways, Beth?
I do. True,
Okay.
true. But let's talk about self-esteem and closure.
Yes, please.
Let's build you back up.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's nothing. You're not saying anything bad. It's just it was like what I was
But you had to process what you had to process.
exactly.
Yeah.
Was I not enough? Should I have tried harder? Why wasn't I worth an explanation? Creating our own closure is radical self-respect. It says I don't need you to validate the end. I get to heal anyway.
Yeah. I think I just want to tell a little closure story.
Yes.
I don't know if it fits in here, but I'm going to do it anyway
Fuck
because
it.
I'm just spitballing. I was in a relationship with a guy, and
Mm.
after what?
I don't know.
We're in the closet. I know it's shocking, right? We love men.
No, just people have said, you know.
I know people say things.
Yeah, anyway.
People talk because we live rent free in their heads. Anyway, so this guy had let me know, not in person, but through emails or texts or whatever back then, um, that he loved me, but he wasn't in love with me, and he wanted to end our relationship. And I couldn't believe that I said this because I had never said this to anybody before. But I said, if you're going to break up with me, you need to come do it to my face.
Damn.
I know. I was shocked at myself, and so he begrudgingly said, I'll come by tomorrow after work. So, he had 24 hours to stew, and so did I, and the what ifs and what did I do? All those. Should I have tried harder? Was I not enough?
Right.
Why wasn't I worth an explanation beyond I love you, but I'm not in love with you, which still I do understand that now, but I didn't at the time.
Right, right.
But so he came over the next day and expanded upon the I love you, but I don't love you, and I'm not in love with you. And that just at the time my head didn't make sense. And so we both cried and hugged and were sad to have this end, and because we were really good friends too, so
yeah,
it
that's
was,
hard.
I'm sure, for him not to feel like he thought he should feel after, a year of dating, whatever. Um, but I didn't let, even though I got closure, like he came over and did the thing. He did the thing that I wanted, but I still, like
You weren't getting what you needed
it
or
was
wanted.
in a month. In a month's time, one of us had reached out to the other. I miss you. I miss you too. And can we, um, I wish there was a way we could still see each other, and then we went into a really stupid idea of friends with benefits with
Mm.
literally almost a contract of what
Oh,
we could
wow.
and couldn't do. But even then, I was like, I would needle him, like, okay, it's been a couple of months. Don't you feel different? Do you really not? You're really not in love with me? Like nothing has changed, but
Oh, that's tough.
and I just kept like my loop
You kept
would
on
not
going and going and
change.
going and
Yeah,
going and going.
like what was I trying to
You're
get?
thinking, well, you're thinking that you could change his mind and
I
that it
think
would be
that.
different.
But that's the thing too. It's like when I parted ways with a business partner, um, I remember our CPA said, Beth, it's like this. It's like you're in a marriage with this business partner, and if you're married to somebody and one of you doesn't want to be married anymore, that's the end. Like you can't stay in a marriage where somebody doesn't want to be, right?
No,
You can't stay in a business relationship if it's somewhere where the other person doesn't want to
it's
be.
not going to work.
And so getting closure, like you may never get closure from that person. So when it's not coming, there's a bunch of reasons why people don't close your loop, right? It's first of all, it's
Right.
not their job,
Right.
but
Exactly.
people ghost you. I did that. I did that last year to 3 people. I just shut off my communication with
Oh,
them.
yeah, I remember.
Um, Bosses never explain, parents die, friends die, I mean, tragic, but sometimes somebody passes away unexpectedly, and you were in the middle of a situation with them trying to sort stuff out,
Yeah.
and friends drift away and you're left holding the bag. So waiting for closure keeps you in emotional limbo, and that's not a joy filled place you want to
No,
live in.
no, not at all.
So here's the good news: you don't need them to finish the sentence. You can rewrite your own ending in the way that works for you.
I like that. So, how to heal, fight, flight, freeze, fawn.
Yeah. So with fight, learn to release anger in healthy ways. Movement, journaling, even screaming into a pillow
That does
works.
work. I've done it.
Yes. Practice the pause before you react. I like to say, pause so that you can respond instead of react.
Right. I just have to say one thing about that. That is so important because what I do is if I hear something, a text, or I get something that's like super, like I have to respond, sometimes I will do it and not take a pause, and it
Hmm.
ends up being a little more messier.
Yeah, it makes it
Yeah.
adds to the mess, right? Um, Ask yourself what's underneath the rage. I love that because it's usually fear, shame, or grief, or
Hmm.
in that neighborhood,
Yep.
right? And relearn that you don't need to fight to be safe or heard. I think that is empowering to learn. I don't have to get into it. There's I can be safe, I can be heard.
Exactly. Then there's flight, pause without panic, breath work, grounding mindfulness, creating internal safety even in stillness, recognize when action is driven by fear instead of intention.
I love that. Ask,
Yes.
am I moving from fear or am I moving from like what am and
Where's it
that
coming from?
yeah, like that
Where,
fear
yeah,
of needing that closure or being in flight mode, like what's behind that? It's a very interesting question to ask yourself because you'll get a really good answer.
it is. And learn to slowly expand your window of tolerance for rest and quiet. And I do have to say, I've been doing like 5-minute meditations every
Hmm.
day. Even when I'm driving, sometimes I'll do it
With your eyes open though,
with
yeah.
my eyes
Okay.
open. And it's really helped me be a little calmer and not,
Meditation is a miracle drug. Everybody should
I
get high off of it. I tell you, it's amazing.
yes, I agree.
I'm glad you're doing that because I've been screaming from the rooftops about it for forever.
Yes,
So,
you have.
the freeze, healing the freeze, tiny safe actions like stretching, drinking water, because drinking water grounds you. Again, we're 60% water, right? We
So
learned that in
crazy.
a previous episode. So, name the freeze as a response, not who you are. It's not your identity. So, when you say, I'm stuck, first of all,
You're not stuck.
you're not stuck. You're going through an experience of feeling stuck. But when you say I am, everything after I am is an affirmation. So you want to be careful about what you pair with the phrase I am,
Mhm.
because I am stuck will get you more stuck, right? I am experiencing
Being stuck right now
feeling stuck,
or feeling
being
stuck,
stuck, feeling stuck.
feeling stuck.
Practice body awareness, yoga, tapping, walking. Walking so underrated and so
I
many
know.
benefits
It's
all the
so
way around, but
wonderful.
it does clear your
It
head.
does.
Like don't get caught up in having a phone call while you talk, like let yourself be with you. Or you could be listening to our podcast. That is totally acceptable.
That is
Always
acceptable.
acceptable
That is
and it's
acceptable.
always recommended.
I agree.
Let others hold space for you while you slowly re-engage. So this is what we did in Big Bear.
Hmm.
It was funny because one of our friends from the jump said, Jennifer, you're better than that. You're better than that. That's what kids starting out do. They take roles for no money that they have to memorize all the parts in 24 hours. You're better than that. You don't lower your stance. She was going
Yeah.
on her, right? But I was just kind of sitting there like she'll come to her conclusion because the reality of it is we were on girls trip till Monday night and she's supposed to be on set at 9 o'clock Tuesday morning. Well, when's she supposed to memorize all this stuff? Like give up her girlfriend time?
I
You
was
know,
there already. I couldn't do
you're
anything
there. You're
about
going to
it.
go up in a room by yourself while we're out having fun.
No, it
Peace
just,
out.
yeah, it
But we
just,
held space.
exactly, exactly. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
And because you really, I mean, the one friend was saying all of that to you, which was 100% true. But the other side of it is you have to come to it on your own, right?
You
We don't
always
we don't
do.
learn anything by somebody telling us this is what you should do, but we learn by coming to our own conclusion.
Exactly. Exactly.
So reassure your nervous system when you're doing this that you're safe and you have choices. So simple but powerful.
And fawn, the new one. Recognize when you're people pleasing from fear. Oh my God.
Does Jennifer do that?
Yes, I fucking do. Okay. I do. I do. I do.
I
Reclaim.
did. I
I
did.
did. I did. See, I'm learning too. Reclaim your no.
Hmm.
It is okay to say no.
And no is a complete sentence.
I like
Hmm.
that. Learn to tolerate others' discomfort. No need to run to their aid.
Now, see, I think of that when um, somebody is uncomfortable with the situation I'm in,
Uh-huh.
and so I can see that they're
So
uncomfortable.
you try to
So
make
I
them
try to make them
comfortable, but
comfortable.
you're in the situation.
I'm the one in the weeds, right?
Right.
So it's really interesting how our need to appease people,
Please.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
And taking away from our own need.
Yeah. Yeah. So building self-worth isn't dependent upon the approval of others. And I think the more you ground and lean into that, the stronger your foundation. And I got a little kitty here who wants to say hi. Hi, Pen. Say hi to the audience. Yeah, they're over there. Okay, goodbye. She had to get her little face in.
She did.
Um, how can you create your own closure, your spiritual and practical methods? Write the letter. Don't send it. You know what I did this week? I sent the letter.
You
The
did.
letter that I wrote a year ago. I sent it.
Wow.
I know. I did not take my own advice, but
Wow.
there was a reason why I did it. Part of
Wow.
it is, ego. But
Ego is not your amigo.
I love that. No, but it was part of my death vault, my
Yeah.
letters to people that I wanted them to have upon my demise, like at my memorial. And this person is not invited to my memorial. So I sent it because I'm like, I need it out of I could have deleted it. It was an email, but I could have deleted it. But I'm
But
like,
you didn't want to. You wanted to
in
send it
that
out.
case, it has been a very, very long, long, lifelong friendship, and I I'm not taking my own advice, but I did send the letter. Anyway,
Okay, well, you
and
admitted
I'm
it.
okay. I'm okay with that. Um, but you could write it, burn it, bury it, bury it. I don't like the idea of burying because I feel like it'll come back up.
Yeah.
Heavy rain and it'll be floating up your front
Yeah,
doorstep again.
I I have burned uh, some letters and from the, past, and sometimes I think, well, why did I burn it? Shouldn't I have kept it? Maybe I would want to read it again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone does that, but
Me.
it's like,
Yeah.
shit, what did that letter say? I
That
forgot.
was really good.
Yeah. Um, I like visualizing a closing door and
Mhm.
locking it. Like,
But wait a minute. Reading to a tree. This reminds me of Big Bear too.
oh yeah.
So,
Wow.
and that with that idea, with that method of doing it, you're giving it to the earth, right? And letting the earth hold it. So, we were hiking at Big Bear and it was the morning after Jen at some point had come to the decision to respectfully decline the gig. And we were hiking and we came upon this hollowed out tree. Well, not completely hollowed out. You could tell that there were like
So
little
cool.
homes for little critters in there, little nooks and crannies and whatnot.
It was like like this, I don't know, like
It looked like
far away.
out of a fairy tale.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
So it was a big, big trunk tree, and then it just like the heart of it almost was being hollowed out. And I said to Jen, I said, this looks like a really great place to leave stuff. So what do you want to leave? Like, and she did this whole thing. She
It
did.
was really cool.
It
It
was
really
it,
was.
it looked very cool. We should have all done it. I
I
thought about that
I
in the
just
summer.
yeah, I'm like, wait, why am I the only one doing
You
this?
were the one going through some GI,
Yeah.
but I thought
It was really cool. I want to go back.
I want to do a retreat there
Yeah.
and I want to go back to that tree and do ceremony where everybody leaves in that tree what they don't want to carry anymore.
Yeah.
But I loved it. But
Yeah, I did too.
closing a door and locking it for sure. And
And actually visualizing,
yeah,
turning the key.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
I have visualized cord
Oh
cutting,
yeah.
done that.
Also say it out loud. This chapter is closed. I don't need to revisit it to be whole.
Yeah.
I like that.
And we came up with some mantras too, which I love. Closure is a gift I give myself.
I release what I'll never understand.
That one is so hard. You
Oh,
just got a death grip on it sometimes, you
it's
know?
kind of like realize,
Understand.
right, when someone like breaks up with you and you just don't
Yeah.
understand and you can't, you go over and over and over in your brain, what did I
Yeah.
do? What did I do?
I
Don't
I
understand.
think out of all of these mantras, if you could master that one, you'd be home free.
No, it's hard.
Yeah. Not all goodbyes come with explanations, but I can still choose peace.
I
I'll
like
try.
that one. I'm allowed to close the book even if the last page wasn't mine.
I like
So,
it.
so here's the thing. Closure isn't always tidy and neat. It's rarely delivered with a bow, and more often than not, it doesn't come from the person or place we think it should. But that doesn't mean you can't still have peace. You can choose to release, to forgive, to walk away, even if you never get the explanation, the apology, or the ending you thought you needed. Your nervous system, your body, your spirit, they don't need the perfect answer. They need your permission to stop carrying what's already over.
Yes. So whether it was a breakup, a breakdown, a job, a friendship, or even an old belief that no longer fits who you are, maybe this is your sign. You don't need to understand it all to close the chapter. You just have to say, I'm done rereading this page. Yes.
I love this.
So tired of living again in a loop
Ugh,
of,
it's so draining. It's
yeah,
fucking draining.
yeah. The healing starts when you decide to begin again. So thanks for being with us in the closet today. And remember, closure doesn't come from the past, it comes from the choice you make today.
Oh, I like
We'll
that.
see you next time. I'm Beth.
And I'm Jen, and this is Two in the Closet.
Bye for now. Okay. That was good.
Yeah, well, so.
We're good. Thanks for hanging out with us in the closet. I'm Beth.
And I'm Jen.
And this has been Two in the Closet, your place for laughs, real talk, and maybe a little oversharing. Make sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you like what you heard, leave us a review. It helps more women find the closet.
Until next time, keep the door closed and the conversations going.